This is a video on how to sow and grow wheatgrass. I know a lot of you seen a video I made last week showing the wheatgrass I had grown, and there was a lot of interest from people wondering how do you grow it. So this is a quick how-to video on how I do it. You can grow wheatgrass on a sunny windowsill in your house, and it's a great place to grow it because it's there and ready for use whenever you need it. For growing wheatgrass, you need three very important things. First of all, you're going to need to get some wheat seeds, and you can get these online. Just Google wheatgrass seeds and they're quite easy to find. I get mine from Fruit Hill Farm down in County Cork. You're going to need trays. This is a 10-20 tray, very common. Has to have drainage holes on one of them. Then you'll need one for underneath with no drainage. So when you sow, you're going to put them into like this so you can water without making a mess. And then you're also going to need one for on top for blacking out, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And finally, you're going to need compost. I use peat-free Classman organic compost. It is an excellent product and it is perfect for germination for all kinds of seeds. Next, you need to weigh out the right amount of seeds for the size of tray that you're using. For a 10-20 tray, I use 400 grams of seed. Now, if you're using smaller trays, you're going to have to weigh out a different weight, but you're going to figure that out because what you're trying to achieve is a nice covering, a coating of seeds all over the compost. Before we sow the seeds, there's a very important job that must be done, and that is soak the seeds. I soak mine for 6 hours. Anything from 4 to 8 is suitable, but don't go over 8. What that does is it'll soak up the water and it'll kickstart germination. So just cover them with water, and once 6 hours or so has passed, put them through a sieve and then they're ready to go. Next, we're going to fill our trays with compost. Now these 10-20 trays, as you can see, are quite shallow. They don't need a lot of compost to grow the wheatgrass. I fill mine up just to below the lip, and that's more than enough. Now for filling the trays, I think for a 10-20 tray, a 2-litre pot, not compact down, is enough compost for each one of these. Spread it out nice and evenly and make sure that there's no lumps of compost in it. And if you want to go that extra mile, you can do what I've done and build yourself a nice little tool for pressing down. This will ensure nice even germination on the seeds. The next job is to wet the compost. I'll take mine outside and do it with the hose so it's not too messy in here. But if you're doing a small tray at home, a little water and spray can like this is perfect. So our next job is to sow the seeds. Now this doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want a nice even spread. And you'll find that when you put 400 grams of this seeds, it's not hard to completely cover the compost. It doesn't need to be too perfect. You just don't want too much in one place or not enough in the other, and that's pretty good to me. Next, we're going to give a very light covering, and I use a sieve for this, and just a very light covering of compost. You really don't want to put too much on, just a little light amount. So next, you need to make sure that you have your tray with no holes underneath, so that when you put it on your windowsill, you'll be able to water it without making a mess. And then another thing you must do is have another tray that has no holes, and you're going to turn it upside down and cover it. And this is called black in and out. And what that does is once the seeds germinate, the grass will start to shoot up looking for light, and you'll make sure and have a nice tall crop of wheatgrass. You need to make sure that it gets a little bit of water, but don't overwater it. And the way you water it is by lifting up the seed tray and pouring a little bit to the bottom tray. Don't soak the top because you'll put the compost up through the grass. So after 2 days, you remove the lid and let the light at the grass. You'll be amazed at how quickly this wheatgrass grows. It'll shoot up. From the day of sowing to the day of harvest is only 10 days. When you're harvesting, just use an ordinary pair of scissors and cut them about 1 inch off the compost level. So a very important thing to remember when you're going to consume the wheatgrass is you cannot eat it. It is too fibrous and your stomach can't digest it. It must be juiced. And the recommended amount is about 30 milliliters, which is a little shot glass worth. You'll learn quite quickly how much you need to cut to juice to make a shot. Wheatgrass is an incredible plant. It's excellent for gut health, it's great for digestion, and it's great for your blood. I really recommend trying it out because you can grow it in any windowsill in your house. Also check out microgreens in general because they're packed full of nutrition and they're very easy to grow. I hope this has helped, and best of luck.